Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Cosker. Papa's Freezeria. Jobs are so fun when they're not real. There are so many games that are just jobs, but in a virtual setting, and they're so much more enjoyable. Like making ice cream treats for people in real life? Nah. But making ice cream treats for characters in a game? Sign me the hell up. As someone who's worked in customer service, for the most part, it's not all bad. You know, minus the fact that you have to go in every day and do the same tasks for 8 hours, and the constant worry that you'll be stuck there for who knows how many years, and not to mention the risk of full-grown adults throwing tantrums and giving you death threats if you get their order wrong. But other than that, it's great. Like, honestly, the worst part about a customer service job is by far the customer. Enter Papa's Freezeria. This game expertly glorifies being a fast food worker. The game involves you taking over a Papa's Freezeria, one of 4,000 in the United States of America, and serving the lovely folks of Calypso Island delicious ice cream. I always loved this game when I was younger. The mixing and topping of ice cream treats was so fun, and I loved bringing joy to this cast of characters by making them their favorites. Oh, how I dream of working a minimum wage job. I remember playing this game a lot when I was younger, even to the point of buying it on my iPod, and today we're gonna revisit and relive the Papa's Freezeria experience. So without further ado, let's get into it. I started the game as Alberto, a college student fresh off of completing his liberal arts degree, and he was already putting it to good use with this job. The employee handbook promised stress-free work and great wages with lots of tips. It was almost too good to be true. Alberto was ecstatic. He met up with billionaire playboy philanthropist himself, Papa Louie. But let's be honest though, this is probably just one of his associates in disguise. No way he'd be seen at this crummy little island. He's probably on his super yacht in Monaco this time of year. Not Papa Louie gave me the typical 30 minutes of new employee training, like always smile, the customer is always right, please hesitate to call a manager, all that fun stuff, before feeding me to the vultures. Apparently he couldn't stay as he was late for a business trip, probably on his way to pitch using horse milk for the ice cream to cut costs. But as he left us all alone with half an hour of training, I couldn't help but feel anxious. With my limited knowledge, how was I supposed to run this shop all by myself? Luckily, Calypso Island wasn't exactly a booming metropolis, so it was unlikely that I'd be busy. Thank goodness there were so few people here, and nothing would ever change. Wait a second. Is that a cruise ship full of tourists? Oh no! Here I was on the first day. I opened up shop to a lady who was definitely way too excited for an ice cream shop to be open. Like, I flipped the sign and she's acting like Apollo 13 just landed. She would be my first customer of the day, as you'd assume. I mean, I'd be concerned if she just celebrated like that and then dipped. She walked in like she owned the place, and I gave her the customary 15 seconds of uninterrupted eye contact. Standard practice in customer service. And then I took her order on a notepad. I guess a touchscreen register wasn't outdated enough. Mandy wanted a strawberry ice cream treat with whipped cream, chocolate sauce, sprinkles, and 3 cherries. So we were off. The process of making these treats involves making the ice cream, mixing it, and finally topping it. The more accurate you are at each stage of the process results in a higher grading score from the customer, and the higher the score, the bigger the tip. And when I say accurate, I mean accurate. Like, if you place these in the wrong order, you're going to jail. I quickly completed Mandy's order and served it to her. It kind of looked like crab, but she seemed to like it, so that's all that matters. Our next customer, Tony, ordered an S-tier chocolate ice cream treat. I went through the process once again, making it near perfect except for the topping. As you can see, I didn't place the cookies and cherry in order, and he could obviously taste it. Like, yes, you clearly placed the cherry first instead of second, like I asked. That's going to hurt your score. You better sleep with one eye open tonight, Tony. And that was the end of day 1. I received my final grading and my total tip amount. Wait, I'm only making $100 a week? What? Oh my god, that can't be legal. I better start calling him Poppy Louie with the way he's screwing me. You know how it is. Boss makes $1, I make a cent, and that's why I can't pay my goddamn rent. But unfortunately, the economy's rough right now, so this is the best Alberto's gonna get. I made my way to the shop with $8 to my name. All I could afford was a selection of 3 posters, but I decided to save. I had bigger plans here. The chef hat in particular piqued my interest, as it was described as just like Papa. This could prove useful if I ever planned a hostile takeover of this restaurant, and then eventually the entire Papa's Limited Corporation, but we still had a long way to go, so let's just put our heads down and get to work. The next day brought new customers and new ingredients. Our first customer of the day, Utah, ordered a delicious cookie dough treat with chocolate ice cream and a cherry on top. Unpopular opinion, cherries don't belong anywhere near chocolate ice cream, fight me. While her ice cream was mixing, I took Sugar Daddy Wally's order. 2 orders at once? I'm a master, I know. I completed both of their orders and moved on to the last 2 of the day. Matt was insignificant, so we'll gloss over him, because the real star was, of course, man of the hour, our first closer, Big Kahuna. Being a closer, he'd be a bit tougher on grading, and he'd be a bit more picky. I threw together his treat, and he loved it, because of course he did. And with that, day 2 was done and dusted. I knew saving was a good idea, because today we had money to burn. We had a whopping $27.69 now, and you bet we were gonna spend it. I purchased a picture of Papa Louie himself on a piece of construction paper and hung it up. Worth every penny. Now he could be constantly monitoring everything I did at the shop like a great boss. So with this purchase, it was time to move on to the next day. We're on day 3 now, and I'm fully convinced that Alberto just lives at the shop. Like, there's no way he can afford a place to live, and we never see him go home. Like, I guarantee bro's sleeping in the broom closet with like a bag of sprinkles for a pillow. Nonetheless, we started the day, and with our brand new low-resolution pop-up poster, nothing could stop us. The customers were absolutely loving it. Look how much more patient they are. Sugar Daddy Wally was back to start our day off by ordering as regular. Then came Mandy and Utah, also ordering their usuals. And finally, Captain Corey closed out the day. It really felt like we were getting into a rhythm today, as we scored our best service yet with a perfect 100 on mixing. I wanted to keep this pace up so that maybe one day I'd bowl a perfect service. The next day, my man Wally, absolute king. He's been the first customer 2 days in a row now. Now, if only he'd give me a perfect score, then I would go to war for this man. The rest of the day was business as usual. You know, saving the world one treat at a time. All was going well until wannabe edgelord Gremmy came in and completely killed the vibe. This guy has the nerve to come into my shop with his greasy ass hair and call my service mediocre. I put my heart and soul into this ice cream, and he just gives me the "it's okay" shrug. I got so many problems, and your ice cream is one of them. Like, get on my damn store. We moved on to the next day, which introduced large cups and new character Kingsley. Having these 2 unlocked at the same time was foul though. Like, you got large cups? Okay, now Kingsley will start coming. He even bought the store next to me so he could be closer. Like, come on. Large cups made things a little more difficult, as it gave me the ability to screw up on the first step, which I did multiple times. But I managed to recover, even getting a near perfect score from closer Quinn, this weird time traveler lady, and I received a massive bonus for having superb service 5 days in a row. Now maybe I could finally afford, I don't know, leg surgery, as I seem to have none. The next day brought in new customer Prudence and her dog that had the same 1,000-yard stare of someone who just watched their family die in a plane crash. She was one of 5 customers who came in today, but honestly I didn't pay much attention to any of them because I only had one thought on my mind. After 6 grueling shifts, it was finally time for payday. Oh yeah. We also unlocked Doan, who I did not care about at all cause it's payday. We had an extra $120 to spend at the end of this shift. I rushed through service, making ice cream for Doan, Kingsley, Insignificant Matt, Mandy. I even made one for the island drug addict. I didn't care. I wanted to make some big upgrades. I finished the day and we went straight to the upgrade shop. The first thing I bought was a doorbell. Now I'd be able to know when I'm ignoring a customer instead of having to guess. I bought a blender booster, which would help me shave 2 seconds off the mixing process, and I also bought some more JPEGs for the wall. My wait time bonus had to be maxed out by now. These upgrades would be essential, especially for this next level. As for the last customer, I'd be serving the food critic. Today had to go perfectly. If the critic liked the ice cream enough, I'd receive a prestigious blue ribbon. The amount of money it would bring in from tips alone would get Alberto that much closer to minimum wage. I greeted the customers, Marty, my man Wally, Mandy, Shell Shock Dog, they were all here. I started on their orders. Stay calm, it's just another day. Oh my god, he's here, it's too soon. My nerves went through the roof. Not even Wally could calm me down. I had to chill out. Luckily that'd be easy because we were in an ice cream shop. I slowly got back into a groove. I got to work on the food critic's order. I measured out the ice cream. Oh god, it wasn't perfect, we're screwed. But I mixed it to perfection to salvage my mistake. Just to think, a week ago I was receiving poor training, and now I'm serving food critics. I guess when you're at the bottom, the only way is up. I carefully placed each of his toppings, layer by layer, and finally gave him his treat. I held my breath. The final verdict. His decision would determine if Alberto could get real food, or if he would have to survive off peanuts dropped on the floor for the 8th night in a row. The suspense was killing me, but finally... Yes! We'd be eating good tonight. Get me some bread or something. The end of service saw us promoted from part-time worker to ticket holder. They were going to call me a full-time worker, but then they'd have to pay me benefits, so they just called me a ticket holder. And that would be the end of my Papa's Freezeria experience today. Still such a classic. Honestly, I just barely scratched the surface. There's so many more characters and things to buy at the shop, but it does start to get a little bit grindy, so, you know, who knows, maybe we'll come back to this game and unlock those. But anyway, that's all for today. If you like, leave a like. If you subscribe, appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheers.